Hello and a very good evening and welcome to the Hampden Netball Show for another Wednesday night. Great to have your company. Great to have your company too, Trish.
Thank
Butters.
you.
How you going?
I'm just getting my head in the game.
Oh, no, you're back at work after a couple of weeks of school holidays, a bit like myself, and taking a couple of days to adjust.
It's been busy 2 days, let's say.
Hey, terrific netball over the weekend, and we'll go through all the results very soon. I know we're going to catch up with our two great guests that we've got lined up tonight, but just in general, a great weekend of netball. Yeah,
lovely, and played in great conditions. So you always get your best netball when you've got good conditions out there. So yeah, it was great to see.
Absolutely. We're going to go to the Zoom. We're going to catch up with our first guest of the night, and it is a new recruit for Terang Mortlake. And I speak of Ebony Knights. Ebony, thanks for joining us on the Netball Show. Great to have your company.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Now, I'm looking forward to hearing about your story. Tell us how you got to Terang Mortlake, what brought you to the Bloods, and how are you enjoying your time so far?
So I transferred down here for work in October last year. So I just thought pretty naturally would join a local netball team. So I work out of Elders in Mortlake. So thought I'd jump on board the local Bloods and give it a crack. So it's been great. It's been a nice change and a really welcoming club.
Cool. How are you finding the standard, Ebony?
It's a very high standard. Very good. Yep.
So tell us a bit about your netballing background. You know, where did you play majority of your netball? And I guess position-wise, I guess we've sort of seen you as a bit of a shooter and a focal point in the attacking circle. Is that where you've always played your netball in previous seasons?
Yeah, I have. I have always been a goal shooter. Haven't ventured too far out of there. Not too much of a goal attack either, if I'm honest. So I played most of my juniors at Bungaree in the Central Highlands, so just out of Ballarat's home. So played there and then started playing senior netball there when I was, still a junior. From there, went across to Natty Bialaba in the Maryborough Castlemaine where I played majority of my A-grade netball. And then obviously COVID, no one's really played and, made the transition down here.
And tell us a bit about the start of the season for the Bloods. Obviously, you know, in previous seasons, and I don't know how much you know about the background of Terang Mortlake, but they've been generally a pretty young side the last couple of seasons. But, you know, obviously adding yourself and a few experienced players coming back to the fold, you know, I think it's been a pretty promising start for you guys.
Yeah, it has. It's always interesting to be called an experienced player because that's when you know you're starting to get old too.
Well, you still look very young in my eyes anyway.
Me too.
There is a lot of youth coming through the Terang girls, which I think is really exciting because they're also all local girls. So a lot of juniors coming up, a lot of girls pushing from Div 1 into the open side. It has been an exciting start. We obviously had a loss on Saturday, but no, it's good. It's exciting to see what will come with all these young girls.
I got to see the second half of your game against Camperdown, Ebony, and I was impressed with your goals. And I guess that day was a bit of getting to know your other teammates and goals and defenders and all that sort of thing. So I guess since then I noticed your shooting accuracy has gone up since then. So how are you finding? I sort of said before, you know, how you're finding the league, how you're finding the standard, but how are you going working in with new players at a new club?
Yeah, I think it's always challenging. I've always had the mindset that it takes 6 weeks for a team to settle, especially a team that there's only 3 girls from last year. So it's completely new combinations across the court. And yeah, I think your nerves start to settle after a couple of games and you start to find your feet. So yeah, it's good. There's a lot of versatility in the team. So I think that also gives us another dimension.
This weekend you take on the Warrnambool Blues. You've had a terrific start to the season. And I guess you probably coming into every game just with a bit of an unknown. Did you know much about the league prior coming in and lining up with Terang Mortlake?
No, if I'm honest, absolutely nothing. I ran in completely blind, which is, it's a bit unknown for me because I think you get so used to just knowing the ins and outs of every team. So, yeah, each week is a new challenge, but and it's always a tough challenge. But, yeah, it's good. It's good to get out there and just kind of give it a crack with no expectations, I think. Yeah.
I think that is. I was just watching that game that day, playing with Jackie in the goal ring. You're combining really well, and that will just get better as the games go on. And I saw Warrnambool on the weekend. They're undefeated at the moment, so they're coming in pretty confident. So it'll be an interesting game on Saturday. I think it'll be match of the round for me.
Yeah, it will be. Jackie's obviously a very strong and very accurate goaler, so she's I would like to say she's probably taken me under her wing at these first few games. So, no, it'll be good to line up against those girls Saturday. I think, it'll really push us to our limit, but it will be good. Like you said, it'll be a good contest.
I know you're still learning the girls. What about some of the young juniors coming through? I know May Suen, is she playing up in Open yet, or is she sitting in Div 1? I'm not sure.
May sitting in Div 1.
Yeah.
We had Ava played Saturday, and she had a cracking game, I thought, at wing defence, and there are quite a few young girls who come up through.
Yeah, I think that's one of my thoughts at the start of the season when I put you into 5th as my prediction. Just depth, and I think right across the league at the moment, depth is really important.
Yep.
You need that depth to come through. So we always know there's going to be an injury, there's going to be someone unavailable. COVID might take a few people out. So if you've got depth coming through, and teams with good juniors seem to be the ones that are coming through at the moment. So it keeps you honest, I guess, if you've got good juniors coming in behind you there, Ebony.
Yeah, for sure. And I know there's a lot of other clubs in the league that have got a lot of talented juniors coming through. So I think not just for us, but across the whole league, it's really good to see.
Hey, Ebony, we really appreciate your time on the Netball Show tonight. We always love getting on the new recruits onto the Netball Show and finding out a little bit more. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing more of you throughout the course of the season.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Ebony Knights from the Terang Mortlake Football Netball Club. And it sounds like from all reports has been playing a beautiful brand of netball and has really, jumped into that lineup nicely.
Yeah, she's not a tall player, but she's not short. So, she's sort of bit on that, a bit above average, I would have said, height-wise, but holds her space in the ring really well.
I gather in playing the leagues that she has, Central Highlands are a strong netball league, and Maryborough Castlemaine's no slouch as well. I think she'd had the smarts about her as well. Obviously, seems like she's got a bit of smart.
I look forward to seeing her in a few weeks, when, as she said, that first 6 weeks and settled in and seeing how that goes. And I know Sharon's really happy with the way they're going at the moment.
Hey, we're going to go to the Zoom again, and we love doing this, and this was really popular last year, Trish. We always recognise some of our youngsters. Now, they don't have to be under 17s, but there's 17 and 18-year-olds that are really starting to make their way into their respective teams and so forth. And our young star, and you got the chance to watch the Anzac Day clash between Hamilton and the Portland Tigers, and you were really impressed with this young lady who played in the midcourt. And I talk none other than Katie Zernett, who joins us on the Zoom. Katie, thanks for joining us on the Netball Show. Great to have your company, buddy.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
First and foremost, a terrific win on the weekend up against the arch rival in the Hamilton Kangaroos. Anzac Day, and we always know there's a little bit more significance with that clash. It must have been absolutely nice to get the points, but also to do it really, really well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we do always have, that strong rivalry against Hamilton. So it was great to have, our first win of the season. Especially being Anzac Day, it was great to, get a win on that day as well.
And it must have been from the scoreline that I read, it's been a 4-quarter performance from the team as well. I think it was 54 goals that you scored. So it seems like it was a really 4-quarter performance from the side.
Yeah, definitely. And it was one of those games where, we knew that we were winning, but it definitely didn't feel like we were up by as much as we were. Felt like, it was very even the whole game, which is great. So it was great netball.
Yeah, I think watching the game, in both sides of the netball, so you were very good defensively, took a lot of intercepts and then turned them into goals. And then attacking, I just thought you were really quick and there was some super smart passing into the goals there, Katie. So how do you feel you're going like this? Was this your first win, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, first win of the season.
And have you been building towards that each week, or is that a new setup, or have you played in those positions all season so far?
No, so Michelle, our coach, has done something different this year that we haven't done before. She's picked a squad. Yeah. So she's, she hasn't named, set players in Div 1 and opened. She picks each week. Our positions have been different every week, which has been working really great for us. And I think on the weekend was definitely one of our obviously better games, but we were really working with our matchups everything was flowing so well, and it was just great to play and finally, get set and see a flow happening through the court. So it was great.
It's always good when it all comes together, and Jessica Crowe in goal shooter, she's a new player to our league as well. We just spoke to Ebony, a new player. I was really impressed with her. She shot, what was it, something
41.
like 41 goals, and having that reliability. Lauren Hockley, who we know is a dead eye, and their goalie's played in Div 1 this week. And so they had Jessica and Heidi Jones, one of our young girls we interviewed last year in goal attack. And that seemed to work really well for you.
Yeah, Jess played really well. She's our captain, so it's her first
All right.
year, back in Hampden. But yeah, she played amazing, and she's so easy to feed the ball into, and obviously because she's more of the holding player, being that she's taller and a bit bigger bodied. Heidi just works so well off her because she's really quick, and yeah, it was just working so well. It's great.
So where did Jess come from, Katie?
She used to play for Hamilton, she said, back years ago, and then she moved, I think it was to New South Wales, and now she's back and she lives on a big farm about half an hour away from here. So yeah, it's great that she's come down and playing with us, and she's so lovely, and yeah, it's great to have her.
Geez, I don't know whether that would have gone well against the arch nemesis. She was a Hamilton girl and gone to Portland. Well, hey, can I ask you, Katie, last year we saw some great signs from you guys, and I don't think you're that far away. Like, you were a high scoring team, but unfortunately at times you leaked a few goals in that as well. Do you feel like as a squad, and under Coach Michelle Fink as well, that you're in a better position this year, obviously with some of your younger girls, like, your Heidi Jones is actually playing, and yourself having, 12 or 13 games under your belt, and understanding what it takes to be successful and the things you need to do to achieve well in open division netball?
Yeah, definitely. I think, with Heidi and Tylea as well, a few of the younger netballers, just as soon as they get their confidence up, like, they play amazing. And yeah, it's been great that we've been able to bring the juniors up and flow between A1 and Open this year. And yeah, our pre-season I think was definitely different, and we are looking to hopefully get a few more wins under the belt. And yeah, with Michelle, like, she's great, so our whole trainings look different than last year, which is great. So we can
and I just spoke before with Ebony about depth, and I noticed I thought the Portland depth has improved.
Yep.
And I don't know whether that's because you've got that squad happening or not, but Tylea is playing in goal defence, and she's does she still play under 17s or?
Yes, she does. Yeah, she's still
and just was her and Maddie Stone on wing defence. They've got these long arms and really good reach. They were stopping everything, and then having remind me, who's your goalkeeper? I've forgotten her name.
Jackie Piergros.
That's right. And having that, I think they've got a really good mix of experience.
Yep.
And young people coming in, and I really noticed that. And then she stood up in that back line there, and was helping with directing, which freed you up, Katie, to play in the centre, because we were talking before. Last year you had to play in goal defence. Not that tall to be playing in goal defence in Open.
Pardon, what did you say? Sorry.
Can't you hear me now either? I'm having trouble today.
I think she said it was obviously a difficult position to be playing in goal defence, and to have that opportunity to come in the mid-court must be a lot nicer.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I've been mid-court pretty much all my netball career. I played goal defence last year, and that was good. Like, I did enjoy it, but I do like to run the court. And it worked really well with Matt and T in defence, and then Jackie could, she's got a bit bigger body and she's a bit taller, so she can outbody and the girls can kind of outrun, so it was great.
Well, I reckon your mum, who was a great basketballer for the Warrnambool Mermaids, she was a very good defender, so I think that could be in the genes and that as well. Now, before we let you go, Katie, we've loved having you on, and we love having our emerging stars coming and joining us on the Netball Show. Trish always has a few fast passes that she wants to pass at you, just to, I guess, delve into your life a little bit more and find out a bit more about what makes Katie's Earn It tick. So I'll pass it over to Trish to ask you a few questions.
Okay, Katie. First one, what is your favourite position to play on the court if you had a choice?
I think it'd either be centre or wing defence.
Yeah. Hardest opponent you've come up against in the Hampden League?
Definitely Amy Wormwood. You know, fast and yeah, she's got everything.
I'm just picturing you playing on Amy
Oh,
last year.
It was a nightmare.
She's a competitive beast, our friend Amy. She loves it.
And very tall compared. So a person you would love to play alongside?
I'd probably say Amy.
Yeah.
You know, she's lovely and she's very encouraging, and yeah, I've played a bit of basketball with her, so she's experienced. It's great.
Cool. What is your favourite thing to do when you're not playing netball?
I play basketball, so either playing basketball or we do a bit of surfing down here, so yeah, probably surfing.
We had another surfer last week, didn't we?
I reckon we did.
Yeah. Have you had any injuries since you've been playing netball? So what would be your worst injury you've had, if you've had any?
Oh, don't think I've had any. I get really bad blisters, so probably blisters. But yeah, I'm lucky I haven't broken a bone or anything, which is
that's
wood.
lucky. Who do you think will win this year's premiership?
Oh.
Taking out the Portland Tigers, of course.
It's not you guys.
You know, South are always up there. Warrnambool, Cobden. I reckon maybe I'll go with South. I think they'll be up there.
So who's your prediction for the Dot Jenkins medal, our inaugural Dot Jenkins medal this year?
I actually don't know many players by their names. Or who we played so far, the Cobden centre, she was amazing. So I don't know her name, but
the
Cobden centre. Was that Alicia Blaine or Sophie Blaine?
Sophie and Alicia swapping between there, so it could be
one of the Blaines.
One of the Blaine girls. And the last one, Katie, what is your proudest accomplishment?
I think not sport-wise, but probably getting through year 12 in COVID. That was tough.
Agreed.
So yeah, probably that.
No, awesome stuff. Hey, Katie, been great to chat with you on the Netball show tonight. You're an emerging talent. Trish was on the phone telling me how impressed she was with your game on Monday against the Hamilton Kangaroos. So well done, and all the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Katie's earned it from the Portland Tigers, and a great young lady. And you know, as I said, her mum was a terrific basketballer and netballer as well. So if she's got that in her DNA, I think she'll be okay.
Fitness is a big thing in their family, and you know that you're not playing the big court, you've got to be fit.
Absolutely. Let's go through some of the results on the weekend. Now, you've got the scores in front of you. Let's start with Camperdown and Cobden.
Have we got any footage? Or?
I don't know whether we got. Well, I think we might go to the footage.
Oh.
And have a look. So the Hamilton Kangaroos took on the Portland. We'll go the Anzac Day game, 41-31. I think that score might have been a little bit incorrect there, but the Portland Tigers, nevertheless, a great performance here. You highlighted Jess Crowe in the goals. Terrific effort. Maddie Stone. Talk me about Maddie Stone's game.
Maddie Stone played in wing defence, and she's just got these really long arms and can come and do little intercepts across the court. She made it really difficult for Hamilton to get it into Kelsey in goals there. Look, honestly, I thought you can sort of just see her in the front of she's got long plaits. Lovely. I thought she looked like she was about 17 or 18, but she's 24 apparently. So really nice player. I think her and Talia Barr take it in turns in that wing defence, goal defence.
Crowe took on Terang Mortlake and were victors at Victoria Park, and we knew that it wasn't going to be long until the Saints bounced back. And I love the Saints, and I love their coaching structure, but also too, I just love the youngsters they got running around. Molly McKinnon, young Molly McLaren as well. Mixing it with the likes of your Nell Mitchells and stuff. They've got so much experience, Emily Rose Finnegan, Casey Barling. There's a lot to like about the Saints.
Yeah, and that was a good win for them. They had a couple out. So they had Casey's out, she's hurt her back, and so Emily Rose is out. So they brought a lot of juniors in on the weekend, and as we said, they were always going to bounce back from the week before.
North Warrnambool took on the Warrnambool Blues in our Hampden League Live match of the day, and you were over there having a look. And what was your take on that game?
Interesting game. It was Warrnambool were just too, I don't know, I think they were steady, but they were also pretty aggressive at the ball. Yeah, North just made so many mistakes. I think they really missed Sky Billings, lost that rotation in their goals, and I kept talking about depth, but it's about that having some other options when something doesn't work. And North were at quarter time were in the lead, and then Warrnambool just turned it around in the second quarter. Jess Thwaites played a blinder. She was really, her and Amy mixed really well together.
It was a Super Saturday clash between arch rivals Camperdown taking on the Cobden Bombers, and the Bombers prevailed in this one. We know how good of a lineup is. What's the feedback you've heard with Sarah Moroney and her being an acquisition to the Cobden Bombers? No doubt a big one.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's only going to get better every week. Playing a new club, has been away for a little bit, hasn't played, but I saw her play the first week and I thought, yeah, she's going to be have another ripping season, and playing him in defence with Nadine, and that frees up Remini McCann to play out in wing defence. So it's a very strong defensive end. They're probably little Achilles heel for Cobden will be a bit like everyone else. I kept talking about it, having only 2 goalies at the moment. Whether they've got some in their Div 1 squad, I'm not sure. Not having that ability to change things up if you need to. And this is where South's hitting ahead of everyone else, because they've got 3 top goalies, they've got 3 really good defenders, they've got 3 mid-quarters. They've got a lot of options they can bring in, and which is making them pretty much stand out at the stage.
And South Warrnambool and Port Fair was the other game, and South winning that one really nicely.
Yes.
A great performance, and they've started the season.
And no Holly
really
Phillips
strong.
in that game.
No, Olivia, as you said, that depth. Olivia Maris comes up from wing attack, jumps into the goal circle and shoots, quite a few goals.
Yeah, what was the score? A massive score. Can't even find it on here. Why haven't I got it on there?
61 to...
61 to 21 without Holly.
Yeah.
We've been saying she's been shooting 47 goals every week.
That's
so,
right.
Olivia Mara stepped up, shot 33 goals.
What a
And he shot 28.
nice thing to have in the background. If you haven't got Holly in there, you can rely on Olivia, or you can rely on Annie.
Yeah, and that just Annie was best on court for them, obviously, and they're hard. They're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're really
That's
going to
why
be
I tipped
hard
at
to
the
beat.
start of the Trish.
You did. I remember.
Hey, now, one of our great sponsors this year is Miss Kit. Jodie Lay and the team have come back on board once again, which is absolutely terrific. They sponsor our Netball MVP award, but also, too, we've got a Miss Kit Weekly Award, which is a gift voucher for our Player of the Week of a game that we choose. And the game that we selected last weekend was the Anzac Day clash between the Hamilton Kangaroos and the Portland Tigers. And we've awarded our Miss Kit MVP award this week to Maddie Stone of the Portland Tigers. A lovely game, and you were ultra impressed.
Oh, it really was. And really, on that day, I think Portland probably won every position on the court. Played a really good style of netball. So if they can take that into the next rounds, it'll be interesting. They're going to trouble some teams. You won't take them easily.
Just seems like the way that Katie was talking, they seem a little bit more stable down back with Jackie Piergross.
Yep.
But also with Jess Crowe coming on board and having that confidence. Yeah, I just think...
The bookends.
But it just seems like there's a bit more confidence and a little bit more structure there. Not saying there wasn't, but I guess with the younger ones being a little bit more experienced as well, they're going to hurt a few teams.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely will.
So,
and Remy Grant in wing defence, wing attack too.
Yeah.
So, you've got that mid-quarter. They've got experience in each part of the court, and that's helping the kids step up.
Yeah, absolutely. So well done to Maddie Stone. A gift voucher coming your way, and we'll get that to you. And when you come over to Warrnambool, you can jump into Crowe Street and catch up with Jodie and the team at Miss Kid, a great sponsor of the Hampden Football Netball League. Right, let's look at round 4 games. Now, remember, we've already had one. We've had the South Warrnambool Crowe game, which is always brought forward on Good Friday. So we've got 4 other games to round out round number 4. Terang Mortlake taking on Warrnambool.
Match of the round for me.
Match of the round, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. We were speaking to Ebony, and they will be out to beat Warrnambool. Warrnambool undefeated. What I saw on the weekend, if they take that brand of netball into every game, they're going to be one of the top 2 or 3 teams.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Amy, she's so hard to beat.
She's a superstar.
She is a superstar. She said to me after the game, she said, I can't believe we won that. I said, yeah, but you were on fire, You're very hard to stop.
Yeah. And then good kids, Jess Thwaites, and they've got a few that have been around a little while.
Jess Thwaites, Sarah Smith.
I think she's a bit of an underrated player, Sarah Smith.
Oh, absolutely. She played a blinder. Matilda Fitzgerald in defence.
Yeah, nice youngster coming through.
And the little girl wing defence, she's the new girl. I've got to think of her name. The little girl, big mate, I can't think of her name.
Oh, Georgia?
Geordie
Geordie.
Bidmate.
Yep.
She played a really good game. She, across that, North could not get it into their goals across that defensive line.
Yeah.
So, so I'm going to pick Warrnambool on their form from last week. I haven't seen enough of Terang Mortlake to pick them this week.
Yep. Cobden take on the Port Fairy Seagulls at the Cobden Rec Reserve. That is our Hampden League live match of the day. Open Division netball scores will be, on air, but also on our social media pages as well. Who do you like?
Well, we can't go past Cobden, Port Fairy, we kept saying it, I haven't seen them firsthand yet, but I'm presuming, they've still got a lot of young people coming along and clicking together. And that, a bit like we were saying Portland last year, it takes a little while to click to get together. And now this year, what I saw the other day, they're going to trouble a lot of teams. Port Fairy will do the same, but I think Cobden, they all want to win, and I think they will.
Okay. Portland Tigers take on Camperdown at Hamlin Park.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, I think, we speak about how good the Warrnambool Terang Mortlake game's going to be. I actually think this is going to be a ripper as well because we've got a side that I think is going to really improve this year against a side who's lost some experience, but they've got a super coach and they've got some good kids.
They have. Absolutely. Both similar. Got a lot of kids coming through, kids who have had a few years' experience. But what I saw at Portland at the weekend, talking to Lauren after the game, actually said that's probably the first day they put it all together. Yep. So hopefully that, that momentum
could be the beginning of something.
Or take them into this week. I'm going to pick them over Camperdown.
There you go, 2 in a row for the Tigers.
Well, it's at home. It's a long trip from Camperdown to Portland.
Super Saturday. Is it a Super Saturday game, that one? I'm not sure.
Oh gosh, I don't even know when the Super Saturdays are running on.
I know with the when they've got the teams that are quite long distance, that they do try to get a lot of the games in one day because obviously we don't want to put too much load on our great volunteers.
That's exactly
so
right.
I'll have to check that one out. And the last game, and I think this one's a crucial one as well for both sides. North Warrnambool taking on the Hamilton Kangaroos. The Eagles, 1 win, 1 draw.
1 loss.
1 loss.
Yep.
And then the Kangaroos obviously haven't probably started, but they've got a new system in place, a lot of new players, new coach.
Got a few out too.
Got a few out as well.
We failed to mention the 2 Somerville sisters are out. One did a calf and hasn't taken the court yet. One did it in the first few minutes on the weekend. Will be out for certainly this week and probably the next. And another girl did a calf. So I hope it's not the new Achilles.
Not the year of the Achilles last year. It's the year of the calf.
It's not the calves. I hope not. So they were struggling and they brought some new juniors in, which was good. It was good to see Alice Evior playing in goals, and
nice
they brought
player.
her in there. Nice young player. But I think North will be too strong. North will have a couple out too. I think Sky's still away, and there's another one out there too. But they'll want to win, and they need to win.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's going to get tight towards the back end of the year. With the comp we've got, it's going to be really tight. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Hey, Trish, that just brings us to the end of the netball show for this weekend. Obviously, round number 4 now. We will have a netball show next week, but there is a week off, obviously, after the May Race Carnival. But we'll still have some guests and work through last week's results and so forth. I think you might be May Racer, so I might have to go solo or bring in a guest co-host. Now, we can't forget our great important sponsors. So our main sponsors, Lyndoch Living, Doreen Power and the team, building a lot of great infrastructure down around Lyndoch. We've got McDonald's, also Sungold Fresh Local Milk, Powercor, Timmy Rourke and the team, great supporters of the Hampden League, and all of our other sports sponsors. The Frolic Bar, we've got Jodie Lane and the team at Miss Kids, Chittix Pies, the Carter Group, QX3, a lot of great sponsors that jumped on board.
You remembered them all.
Well, and we've got a lot more, so we're going to try and get through a lot of them over the next couple of weeks because we've got a lot of great businesses and organisations.
And don't forget to support them.
Yep, absolutely support them as well. So have a great weekend this weekend at the Netball. We look forward to hopefully another great round of Hampden League Netball, round number 4, and we'll see you next week, next Wednesday night on the Hampden League Netball Show.